Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Arafat mujeeb from FEI Higher Secondary Institute. Today I am with chapter number first. Chapter is about fundamental unit of life, the cell. In this chapter today my topic to discuss is about the mitochondria. Mitochondria is an important cell organelle. Actually, it is a singular name of the single mito. If we talk about a single number, that is mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is a singular name of one mitochondrion. That single mitochondrion, it is structure and function. Let us study about the structure and the function of the mitochondrion. That this is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Actually, within the inner membranes of the mitochondrion, there take place aerobic type of respiration, where there is a generation of ATPs, and these ATPs are energy rich molecules. On their breaking down, they release those energy, and this energy then is used by the cell and to perform various activities, and this therefore it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Actually, there take place the TCA cycle, that is a tricarboxylic acid cycle, that the Krebs cycle take place. Krebs cycle is the second stage of chemical reactions in aerobic type of respirations that take place within the inner membranous and matrix of the mitochondrion, where there is the generation of ATPs, and the remaining glucose is further oxidizing here, and there is the releasing of energy. Therefore, mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. This mitochondria as is present in those cells which have more activities. मतलब यहाँ मेरा कहने का गर्ज है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया जो है ये सेल ऑर्गेनेलीज उन सेल्स में पाया जाता है जिनका ज्यादा काम होता है. I talk about the muscle cells, I talk about the nerve cells, I talk about the other various body cells which have to perform much more activity rather than the other cells. As also these mitochondria are very large in number in their germination, seeds, and other growing tissues. They are found in the, also it is seen in the cardiac muscles of the heart, and also these are found in the we can say the voluntary muscles, involuntary muscles, उनमें भी पाया जाता है. तो यहाँ पे जो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया है, in some cells mitochondria are absent in the red blood cells. They don't have the presence of mitochondria. They lack the mitochondria here, and we can say the structure. I sketch out the structure of the mitochondria here. Mitochondria is a double membranous organelle, double membrane. That it has outer membrane. It has outer membrane, and it has inner membrane. Collectively, जो outer membrane and inner membrane है, therefore it is a double membrane. And inner membrane जो है, it is folded. It is folded inwards. Here you can see the inverted. It is folded in form. That means जो यहाँ inner membrane है, it is folded form. Folded in form. Then you can say this folded form of inner membrane of mitochondria is known as cristae. There are the cristae, and these inner folds and finger-like projections are towards inside, towards the center of this mitochondrion. That these are known as the cristae. And if you talk about a single, that is known as a crista. if you talk about only the single crystal. Here I talk about the various finger-like projections. They arise from the inner membranes of mitochondria. से आप देखिए mitochondria से ही ये यहाँ raise हुआ है. These crystal. I talk about this. And there in the finger-like projections, there are on the surface there are F0, F1 particles complex. We can say that it has F0. F0 जो है it is embedded in this membrane. जो inner membrane है इसमें ये दिखाई नहीं देता है. It is embedded in the inner membrane. Only you can see the F1 particles. F0, F1 particle collectively known as the ATP synthetase. असल में यहीं से ही इन्हीं पार्टिकल से जनरेट होता है क्या? शाबाश, इन्हीं पार्टिकल से जनरेट होता है ATP मॉलिक्यूल. ATPs एडिनोसिन ट्राइफॉस्फेट एनर्जी रिच मॉलिक्यूल जनरेट होता है इन्हीं F0, F1 पार्टिकल कॉम्प्लेक्स से. Therefore it contains the few enzymes. Therefore if it generate the ATPs, therefore it is known as ATP synthetase. ATP synthetase दोनों को ही कहा जाता है. ATP synthetase. Now you can see in this there is the presence of mitochondria keeps mitochondrion keeps its own circular DNA, that is circular DNA. It has its own circular. That means this organelle is independent. That means it synthesizes it sometimes own proteins. Then those proteins work as enzymes. I told you about that aerobic type of respiration takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria. Various number of chemical reactions takes place within the mitochondrion. That there should be number of proteins. Those proteins act as enzymes. They are concerned. They are meant by they have circular DNA. Also, it contains the mRNA, messenger RNA. Plus, it also contains them. They meant for the synthesis of proteins. Number of proteins or the synthesis. Those proteins act as some protein act as enzymes. As enzymes perform the number of chemical reactions associated with aerobic type of respiration. That means जो last part होता है respiration, aerobic respiration, that take place within the inner membranes of mitochondrion. Then we will move ahead here. It comes here the ribosomes. Also it contains the ribosome. You know the ribosome is the site of protein. It is a factory of proteins. It is considered as factory of protein synthesis. तो ये तो जो यहाँ ribosome is meant for this. That means this organelle also contain the ribosomes. Also it contain the ribosomes here. So ribosomes mean, therefore, because of the presence of circular DNA, mRNA and ribosomes in this type of organelle, therefore it is a semi-autonomous. That means sometimes it takes its own decisions. क्या मुझे किस वक्त नहीं तो प्रोटीन जो भी बनते हैं जो भी किस्म के प्रोटीन्स होते हैं, they act as hormones, they act as enzymes, they act as the other biomolecules that perform the various activities within the cell, outside of the cell, because of these proteins. And hence ये वो proteins बनाया जाता है under the guidance of the nucleus. Then nucleus contains the genetic material, DNA, RNA. It contains the other chromatin material, other essential proteins. Then itself ribosomes are synthesized in the nucleus. then we can say sometimes it is partly independent. That means sometimes it synthesizes its own proteins. At that time, those proteins should make available in the matrix of the mitochondrion. So there should be availability of number of catalase enzymes which operate as various chemical reactions associated with aerobic type of respiration. Therefore, because of the presence of the ribosomes, because of the presence of circular DNA, mRNA, and because of the presence, it is known as the, because of these important two are present in the, therefore it is known as the semi-autonomous organelle, cell organelle. सेमी ऑटोनॉमस सेल ऑर्गेनेली, तभी तो ये किसी वक्त खुद अपने आप को डुप्लीकेट कर सकता है, रिप्लिकेट कर सकता है, तो किसी वक्त खुद ये अपने प्रोटीन्स बना सकता है और काम करा सकता है। ये टोटली डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहता है न्यूक्लियस के गाइडेंस पे। तो समटाइम वो इसको इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट ऑर्गेनेली एंड जनरेशन ऑफ एटीपी इज वेरी एनर्जी जनरेट होता है। तो ये बाकायदा एक मैकेनिज्म ऑफ केमिकल रिएक्शंस टेक्स प्लेस विद इन ऑर्गेनेली एंड इट शुड बी पार्टली डिपेंडेंट। जिस तरह हमारे स्कूल में प्रिंसिपल होता है और वाइस प्रिंसिपल होता है, तो सारा डिसीजन, हाँ, इट इज ऑल द डिसीजंस अंडर द in the hands of the principal, that is the head of the institution. Sometimes if there is a absence of the principal, then work is on the shoulders of the vice principal that take place. Though we can say in the same way, sometimes such organelle chloroplast, मैंने इसे पहले भी कहा कि वो भी सेमी ऑटोनॉमस ऑर्गेनेली है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एज वेल इज सेमी ऑटोनॉमस ऑर्गेनेली। किसी वक्त ये भी खुद अपने जजमेंट्स ले सकते हैं, अपना काम करा सकते हैं खुद विद इन द ऑर्गेनेली एंड परफॉर्म द जॉब। दिस इज therefore semi autonomous organelle because of these two. Then we can say that here it is a matrix. This matrix, it is a proteinaceous matrix which is found, proteinaceous matrix. It is made of the protein, gel-like protein, has a fluidity, and a number of enzymes are available in this. There are number of enzymes, catalase enzymes. Here I can name it here, catalase enzymes are present in the matrix of the mitochondria, where there is these enzymes perform the number of reactions as associated with aerobic type of respiration. So it is in this way it is all about the structure of the mitochondria. Mitochondria varies in shape and size. Some are cylindrical, some are circular, some are oval in shape, some are cylindrical in form, some are elongated, some are thread-like. They come in variable in shapes and size. Also on an average their size remains, इनका जो साइज रहता है माइटोकॉन्ड्रियन का या माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया 0.2 माइक्रोमीटर टू 2 माइक्रोमीटर इनका साइज रेंज लगभग रहता है। दे जनरली आर इन द साइज रेंज ऑफ 0.2 माइक्रोमीटर टू 2 माइक्रोमीटर का साइज रेंज के आसपास माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया रहते हैं। देयर आर नंबर ऑफ माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इन द सेल। इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द हाउ फंक्शनल सेल इज, हाउ एक्टिविटी ऑफ द सेल। जितना सेल के अंदर काम होता ज्यादा होता है, उतना नंबर ऑफ माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया अवेलेबल होना भी जरूरी होना चाहिए। ऑल्सो द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया आर सीन इन द बैक्टीरिया, इन अदर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स। Such organelle is important as it is a generator of the ATPs. तो इसका क्या काम रहता है? मैंने बताया जो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया है, it is associated with the cellular respiration. In the cellular respiration, there is an aerobic type of respiration. In aerobic type of respiration, there is the need of the oxygen to oxidize the glucose food which are already present in the tissue cells, and in those cells there is the such organelle where they help us in the oxidation of the food, that is glucose, and the generation of important ATPs which are generated by these particles are associated with the generation of ATPs, that is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is an energy rich molecule. When this molecule is utilized, it helps us in the releasing of the energy रिलीज होती है. तो हम कहेंगे कि जो ATP मॉलिक्यूल को, इसका यही काम है टू जनरेट द ATPs and adenosine triphosphate. ATPs go adenosine triphosphate molecule. It is an energy rich molecule. पहले क्या होता है इसमें? पहले AMP होता है, एडेनोसिन मोनोफॉस्फेट. मोनो मीन सिंगल, इसके साथ और एक इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट मिलता है, ये बनता है ADP. एडेनोसिन डाइफॉस्फेट. It is a stepwise formation of ATP molecule within the mitochondria. Then this ADP further joins with inorganic phosphate. They give the formation of their ATPs. So ATP जो है, it is a much more energy rich molecule that is generated by the mitochondria. As this energy rich molecule generated within the inner membranes of the, असल में inner membranes जो inner folded membrane होता है माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में, it actually contain the F0, F0 भी कहते हैं, F0 भी कहते हैं, F0 F1 particle complex, as it is named that these are the ATP synthetase means to synthesize ATP. ये वो complex है जहाँ पे ATPs बनते हैं. तो therefore this ATP is an energy rich molecule. It has a stepwise formation. First one, there is a adenosine monophosphate within the membrane, within the mitochondrial membrane. Then it combines here inorganic phosphate, तो इसमें यहाँ पे energy E1 लगती है. Again here is the energy E2, यहाँ bond बनाने में inorganic phosphate के साथ. आखिर में generate क्या होता है? ATP. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. It is an energy rich molecule. Energy rich molecule. जब यही ATP क्या होता है? break down होता है. जब यही ATP break down होता है, तो then it is a source of energy. जब यही ATP यहाँ पे ATP break down होता है, that means then utilized by the cell in the cell activity, then it converts into ADP, adenosine diphosphate, जो इससे पहले ये यहाँ पे ये तैयार हुआ है, यही यहाँ पे ब्रेक डाउन होता है. साथ साथ यहाँ से निकलना शुरू करता है इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट. इसका उल्टा अब है ना, साथ में हमें क्या मिला? शाबाश, साथ में हमें मिला एनर्जी. ई इज द एनर्जी विच गो. इसके ब्रेक डाउन फिर ये एनर्जी रिलीज करता है. इट इज एनर्जी रिच मॉलिक्यूल. जब इसकी ब्रेक डाउन होती है, देन देयर इज द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एडेनोसिन डाइफॉस्फेट. इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट बाहर निकल के एनर्जी यहाँ निकल आती है. जो एनर्जी यहाँ निकल आई, वही एनर्जी यूटिलाइज होता है बाय द सेल to perform the activities. That means in the mitochondria there take place, ये मैं यहाँ पे इरेज करता हूँ. I will say that in the mitochondria there take place aerobic type of respiration. एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में क्या होता है? जो ग्लूकोज होता है शाबाश, वो किसके साथ रिएक्ट होता है? ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल के साथ. तो वहां पे हमें कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जनरेट होता है. वाटर मॉलिक्यूल इज 6 टाइम्स. देन देयर इज जो यहाँ पे एनर्जी रिलीज हुई वो इस फॉर्म में स्टोर रहती है. किस फॉर्म में? एडेनोसिन ट्राइफॉस्फेट में वो एनर्जी स्टोर रहती है. फिर बाद में यही ATP मॉलिक्यूल यूटिलाइज होता है. तो जो मेरा कहने के गर्ज है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज एसोसिएटेड विद aerobic type of respiration. I hope you understand about this cell organelle as important organelle as per the source of the energy is concerned for the cell, and it is known as the hence powerhouse of the cell. I hope you understand about this. Thank you very much.